Hello, friends. This is Carrie White, and you are listening to the Misconceptions podcast.
Hello, friends. It's me, your host, David White, and welcome to our Geeking Out After Season 2 installment of our story. Just like with the first season, this session is a little bit different from a typical episode because it is a roundtable, out-of-character discussion about things that happened in Season 2. As such, if you have not finished listening to Season 2 in its entirety, I highly recommend you do so because there are a lot of spoilers in this episode. So, go listen to episode 56, listen to the rest of Season 2, and once you're done, head on back over here and listen to this really great discussion about characters, plot lines, and other things.
Huh. What?
Feeding
Oh,
the baby.
it does. I was like, I don't know what we're talking about.
What doesn't make sense?
I was thinking that you were having Zach's headphones listen to Jaime clap, and I was like, but the sound doesn't go through that phone, so I just had to rewire my
You got
phone.
it.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
okay. Well, welcome to the Geek Out After Season 2. We currently have 2 dogs running around. One is in heat, but the other is neutered, so it's not really a big deal. I also have my son in my arms, and I'm giving him a bottle because we tried to do this earlier, and he started fussing, so we had to stop recording. But thankfully we didn't get far, and we're just going to get back into it. But it has been, I think it's been about 2 weeks since we recorded the season finale. And so the crew has had time to ruminate, to think about their life decisions and choices, and kind of think of questions they might have or answers they want to give, and kind of maybe even looking forward to Season 3. And spoilers, I am planning on Season 3 being the finale season of Misconceptions, so it's going to be a big one, so thinking about where...
Wow.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be the end of Misconceptions. There could always be Misconceptions too. But yeah, so kind of looking forward to Season 3 and what they want to see their characters do and all of that. And the way we're going to do this is we'll just have kind of a general discussion up front. We can ask questions of each other. I will answer those that I can without spoiling Season 3. Then I have some questions that I picked out, and then we'll do our Geek Out during the credit sessions and level up as normal. But let's see, I had something else. Oh, I went back and listened to our Geek Out after Season 1, and it was just funny to listen to because it was so, well, I guess it wasn't super long ago, but we were so young, and we didn't know what Season 2 was going to be about, and we made predictions, and some of them came true, and some of them didn't. So I guess we'll make some more predictions for Season 3, and we'll see if they'll come true. But up first, who has some burning questions or desires? Tess is already raising her hand. That we just want to start off our discussion with.
So whenever the limo scene happened... Wow, that's hard. Whenever the limo scene happened, David had me, Zach, and Jaime step out so that we wouldn't know what happened. And then he didn't let Carrie tell us after the podcast what happened because he wanted it to be live on here. So, Carrie, would you please enlighten us as to what happened with Esther in the limo?
Yes, please.
Yes, because I wanted to decompress with somebody, and I didn't have anybody to decompress with because I couldn't talk to y'all about it. So, I talked to David about it a little bit, but I was frustrated with him and the way it all played out, so that wasn't all that helpful. So I get in the limo with everybody, and the limo shows up after I rub the coin. Then I get in the limo, and everybody gets in the limo. And then the next thing I know, the limo's like driving around and like, you know, the lights, like it's like you're driving under lights. So like it's light, it's dark, it's light, it's dark, it's light, it's dark, and y'all are there and then you're not there. And then it's light, it's dark, it's light, it's dark, and then Carmine Giuseppe is there in the limo with me. And he's like, all right, you have one favor. What's it going to be? And, of course, I'm like, we got to get this mayoral candidate, like, taken care of because he's a bad dude. And that's what my team wants. And then he's like, are you sure that's what you want? Because we could do, like, I could tell you about your dad, or I could help you with the bar. And it's like, damn it. Because I really, really wanted more information on what went down with my dad. But I knew that the team was basically riding on me to, like, fix the stuff for the mayoral candidate. Sorry. Artie likes to get out Maggie's toys. It's pretty funny.
Along with all our mics on the table, we have a small collection of Maggie's squeaky toys. So Artie will stop pulling them out and playing with them. We have a very interesting setup today.
Believe it. So anyways, obviously I ultimately decided I'm going to go with the team and we're going to take out the mayoral candidate. But I didn't know that he was going to use Javi and get Javi arrested. And that's what has me really pissed off.
I think I'm honored that you chose the team, but I would have completely understood. Seriously.
Do you get another one?
No, he's getting a drink, but he's like just making the most noise possible.
It's like the dogs that like never eat, never play with toys.
Yeah.
Like right now they've decided.
It's just not our night.
To be fair, Maggie is asleep. So.
Is that coin a monkey paw, David?
No. So without spoiling Esther's dad's story, the coin was a token of favor, and it was usable once, and whatever the daughter of Morty Black wanted, Carmine Giuseppe would do. But it got complicated because it's his city of mist, and that's only appropriate. And so Javi was the tool that Carmine Giuseppe used to assassinate Pip Hamill.
Which I figure means that he had something over on Javi, and so Javi had to do whatever. Though
I wasn't even paying attention to it.
One more
crafty.
squeaky toy to the pile.
So crafty.
So then the question is, 1, what does he have over on Javi? 2, is he regularly using Javi? Or is this the first time that he's used him? And is Javi being arrested just did it really happen the way that we think it happened, or is the mob going to get him out?
All good questions. Can't answer them. But if you remember...
I just felt like I should put those out there for the community because I just developed those questions.
Yeah.
I
want answers.
Yeah,
What, David?
If you remember, Bill followed the car that had arrested Javi, and on the way, they were intercepted, like a unmarked black SUV ran into it. And then the police officers, I believe they were shot and killed, and then these guys in tracksuits pulled Javi out, put him in the SUV, and then drove off and kind of unloaded him into an uptown brownstone house, obviously like a safe house. So like he was arrested, and people knew that he shot Pip Hamill, but then...
Yeah, I was going to say, it was also super public.
Yeah.
So he can't just go back to being a cop now.
Yeah.
Is Javi going to be an enforcer now?
I don't know.
I just want to know what the consequence is for Carmine Giuseppe not holding up his end of the bargain, because I don't think that Pip Hamill's really dead.
You don't think so?
Oh, I think he's dead.
Yeah, so So is that what y'all thought happened in the limo? Because to y'all, you just drove around the block, and then the door opened, and you all filed out, and then Javi shot Pip Hamill. That's as far as y'all knew.
No, we could tell. I think we could tell. Because, we've been in this mist. Like, we know what's going on. And then you could see on Esther's face that she was very unhappy. Like, there was obvious distress. And so whenever she was like, we all said, we have to do something. And then she was like, I know what to do. It's like, all right, well, she said I know what to do. And then something happened. So I don't know if we knew that was exactly what happened, but I feel like we had an idea.
Yeah, but Faye thought I turned y'all in because then all the stuff underground, and Faye was like, I was pretty sure you had something to do with that. I was like, really?
Faye thought that, yes, but Tessa did not think that.
Tessa knows better.
Right. Well, I think it's also important to note that Esther was really upset in game, but also Carrie was really upset. And so there was a change in atmosphere when we all came back in the room, and Carrie was not looking at any of us, and she was not happy. So I thought that you had gotten to go meet your dad and talk to him, and then you had to choose between whether or not he would stay alive and be a part of your life, or whether or not he would fully die.
Yeah. It was a super stressful conversation, and if you listen to the episode, I don't know. I feel like we had some good dialogue.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a very intense.
Yeah.
It was a very intense dialogue.
Yeah.
I also think it was a cool climatic moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts, Zach?
I was just thrown off by everything.
Okay.
Yeah, the end of the season was really a whirlwind for Ren.
Right.
I was just trying to survive.
Who am I?
So going to Ren's story, though, I did have a question. Oh.
Are you good?
Did you get that recorded?
Woo!
Nice sound.
Okay, go ahead.
So going to Ren's story now, I know that he lost all his memory and stuff, but before that, he had a bounty on somebody's head. So do we get to find out who that was, or no? Because is that a thing anymore? Because he lost all his memory, so that's not a thing anymore, right?
He lost his memory, but he still has a mission. Season 3 will have to explore that.
So we don't get to find out.
Does that mission involve somebody in our team?
See, you asked me this another time, and I will not answer it. I will not.
It does.
I will not say if it's a PC. I will not say if it's an NPC, because that would narrow it down quite a bit if I answered either way.
There also was when he was in the office playing those videos. So
Yeah,
and the
so
video
Faye-
said,
Yeah, Faye heard.
you need to kill someone.
Yeah,
But
Faye
you
heard
didn't
Ren
hear
say
who.
I didn't. Well,
No.
it didn't say who.
that. Yeah, so recorded Ren just said I have to kill somebody and I don't know if I can do it. And Faye was in the office when she heard that.
Did we not? We didn't already know that as characters.
No.
Okay. Sometimes I forget which.
Yeah, I mean, Ren has lost his memory, and while that recording, he heard that, he still has no idea
Who it was.
who it was.
It's fair. That makes it really tricky.
Because he all the things that happened in the previous with the voice and things that he has figured out that I think he hasn't he talked briefly about with you guys about that he has this futuristic gun and had that surgery, but what the listeners also know is that he has this mission, but he doesn't realize that he doesn't realize the voice is there, and none of the video recordings talked about the voice or talked about the mission the exact details of the mission or anything that the voice has ever told him.
How do you feel with Ren losing his memory?
I just want to die.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well,
What'd you say?
He just wants to die.
Oh my goodness.
So overdramatic. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, Bill would be okay with that, but I don't know. I was okay with it.
No, I mean it. Like I feel like I've like lost all of like the Ren-ness because I had been focusing so much on using my weapon, and like not so much using like Pascal and Associates or like my hacking and stuff. And so now that like I don't have a weapon, and now that I don't have my memory, I feel like I just like have nothing other than, well, I used to have Pascal and Associates and now we're Wanted. So like now I like really don't have anything at all.
As Zach, do you feel like kind of like, okay, I get to start over with Ren now, or are you frustrated that you have to start over?
Both. I'm excited to start over.
Yeah.
But I'm frustrated that I feel like now I have to take a support role rather than like going in head first and trying to attack.
Using the crane.
Yeah. Now
Well, he didn't use his gun for the crane.
He
Yeah.
can still use his crane.
Yeah.
He can still use his crane.
He just drives one around.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, that
so
could be your new undercover thing. You could own a crane company,
Oh, yeah.
and we could all work for him, I guess.
as
Work at the
wanted
docks.
criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as part of the stop holding back move that you rolled, how's he keep finding these? Where are these coming from?
I mean, he's pulling them all out from over there.
Why do we have so many squeaky
he also
toys?
keeps hiding them because he knows that we're taking them.
Maggie only plays with one. Why do we have so many? Anyway, so as part of the stop holding back move, you lost your incapacitator gun theme, and you gained a new Logos theme. I don't think we talked about it on mic, and I don't think we even discussed it with anybody else. Do you want to tell everybody what your new Logos theme is? Like, talk about it a little, or just let it come out kind of naturally in season 3?
I'll talk about the Logos theme. The Logos theme is like this idea of Ren 2.0 of like being a better person and playing the support role. So it's this identity of wherever help is needed, I am there. So completely opposite of normal Ren, which Faye is rolling her eyes. So the one power tag that I have right now is truly wants to do good. And so that's what Ren is trying to do, is trying to like better the world, and to his point, or to his thought, that's all he's been trying to do, because he has no memory of his past, and so he has no memory of the crane situation or aggressively shooting a lot of people, including children who he didn't realize were innocent children.
Yeah. So earlier today I posted, hey, we're recording Geek Out after the season 2. Do any of you listeners have a question you want to ask the players? And of course, our good buddy Kit answered, and he said, who is going to slap some humanity into Ren? and I wanted to comment and be like, well, if we keep listening, yeah, he slaps himself in a way. So, Kit, I hope you got the answer to your question.
Yeah. So Ren 2.0 has plenty of humanity and saving the world,
which
is almost like a Maui, but less.
Okay. It's important to understand that I ran a City of Mist game, and Zach played a Rift of Maui, and it was so frustrating. So that was the scream that just happened.
I played a Rift of a Power Ranger, and he was adorable, and he was such a good boy.
A zombie.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, where were we?
Yes.
I got someone to say you're welcome, though.
Yes, you did. You did.
And
He
also
was talking about being Maui.
Well, yeah, and he was talking about being a better person, and it's funny because I went back and listened to Geek Out after season 1, and one of the goals you had for Ren was to make him like more personable.
You were unsuccessful for the first 10 episodes.
Let's try it.
Sorry, laughing.
That's fine. We just won't have any fun because Tessa will start laughing. Or coughing.
I am bothered
Okay.
because
As Tessa or Faye?
both.
Okay.
Because I have a tag that says wants to do good. And you took it, and I'm quite perturbed about it.
I didn't take it. I truly want to do good. So
What does
Yeah,
that mean?
you just want to do good. He truly wants to do good.
Yeah, you falsely want to do good.
Yeah, we probably should have vetted that power tag before we put it into publication, I guess.
I'm perturbed.
Well,
Wants to do better. Let's
It's
just name
just
his
gonna-
wants to do better.
Yeah, it's just gonna end up like fueling the Faye and Ren fighting because
Even
you're
though
gonna,
Ren is a
like-
better person now, there's still
Right.
going to be a rivalry.
right, because you're gonna go to do something and Faye's gonna be like, "This is my thing."
sprouts a vine from the
Oh my gosh, I would kill you. That's like if I like went and built a bar and was like, "We'll make bar better."
we had to go there. We just had to bring up the failing bar. But really, on that note,
Yeah.
it is failing.
Yeah. Also, because of your choices in the limo, did you ever take your crack and fade
No.
that you needed? So what are you taking fade and crack in?
Well,
God.
I don't think.
How many do we have? Okay, hold on, Carrie.
have a
How many
lot.
squeaky toys do we have? 1,
One,
2, 3, 4, 5,
six.
6. 6 squeaky toys.
Maggie is loved.
Yeah.
Maggie only plays with
She
one.
only
of them.
plays with 1, maybe 2. But we have 6 squeaky toys that already has gotten out and we have had to take away.
Oh yeah, David. How many of your
Anyways,
video
Carrie, what
games
were
do
you
you
doing?
play
Oh,
every day?
Oh.
Hey,
Shots fired.
calm
Okay.
down.
I'm sorry.
So-
I'm sorry. It's me too.
I think that what would make sense would be for me to take a crack in my daddy's girl theme.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to take a crack in more than one thing?
You can.
I think
Do you?
overall,
Because I think you had multiple choices you could have gone with.
right.
Yeah.
I think just overall, I should take a crack in the bar because I haven't been taking care of it.
Sure. And you had the option to like get out of because you had a failing bar 4 or 3 status or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. I
Yeah.
forgot about that too.
And he could have like absolved that. Because so I don't know. I don't know if I want to say what Carmine Giuseppe is the rift of. No,
want
don't do
to.
it.
no.
Okay. Maybe at the end of the show I'll divulge it. But he would have had that power to get you set.
Is he a genie?
Ooh, I like.
I can't answer that.
So he's a genie,
You ain't never.
but he didn't give me 3 wishes.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem. Fair.
He did give a hint in his dialogue, and maybe whenever y'all listen to the episode, well, no, never mind. No one listens to these.
Tessa does.
Tessa does.
I listen.
I
Jaime still
listen
hasn't.
to him sometimes
Whenever we're driving somewhere and I'm listening to him,
because that's the longest amount of time I have to sit and listen to something.
that's fair.
Although
But
now
anyways,
that-
he
better.
he
I'm
dropped
listening to
some.
Misconceptions right now. What are you talking about?
No, he's not.
Boo,
Oh, you know what?
dad
But
joke,
whenever
womp womp.
whenever I listen to Geek Out after season 1, Jaime said, once I'm done with the liturgist, I'm going to start listening to our podcast.
I'm still listening to the liturgist.
Yeah,
It's
you
so
can
long.
never be done with the liturgist.
It's so
He
long.
felt
You have no
safe
idea.
saying that.
Yeah.
So, could I also take a fade in the owl ring because I could have asked about that, but not really.
If you wanna assume that, you could.
Okay, I know you need to go outside.
Really, I think like you had 3 choices put in front of you though, and I don't think the owl ring was one of them.
Yeah.
But if you want, because it's all about how you perceive your character and your choices. So if you want to say that,
No, I don't.
okay.
Okay,
So
but here's a question.
okay.
So I'm looking at my cards,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't review often enough. But so I have Daddy's girl, and my identity is I just want my dad back.
Yeah.
But then I have for such a time as this, I will find Dad's killer.
Yeah.
So would I take a crack in both of those, you think? Or which one?
You could. I mean, both pertain to the mystery behind your dad.
Yeah. I think I would take a crack at both of those because I think they're kind of similar.
Okay.
So I have a crack in everything.
Okay.
I'm losing myself.
You're losing yourself for the good of your team.
Yeah, which I would not have thought I would have done when this show started.
Yeah, and
You
while
became best friends with Faye.
Yeah, then
And
I
I
moved
think-
in with Plant Lady.
I think during the discussion with Carmine, you as Carrie were out of character saying, you know, at the beginning of this series, Esther would have chosen, you know, to find out more about her dad, but it just shows how much she's grown attached to this crew that she chooses this instead.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
But I was physically sick to my stomach. I was like, I don't want to make this decision.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome. I'm glad you're.
so
It's not awesome that
frustrated.
you're sick, but it's awesome that you're so connected to this character and story because that's what makes it good.
Still frustrated.
Well, you'll be frustrated about it probably all the way through season 3. Okay. Any other general comments or questions about this whole season?
I feel like in the beginning of the season, I was very focused on finding the Bacabs, and then stuff got really crazy, and so that became less of a focus. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because does that mean I'm forgetting about my family? Or, I don't know.
Yeah. Are you substituting your old family for a new one?
How dare you? I'll kill you. I will murder you. Not GM. David White, I will murder you.
Hey, could
Here I
we
am.
not? We have a kid.
Yeah. But while you're here, could we record some episodes of Misconceptions before?
But first,
Before you kill me, let's finish season 3. Yeah, so I think where you left off with that, Alec
I have a prediction. Go
Alec
ahead.
Baldwin was going to go to the South Bacab and find him, and you were going to, or her, and you were going to go to the North Bacab and find them. Yeah. But what were you saying?
My prediction is going to be that I can't get my family back. And then my other prediction is going to be that all of our predictions are wrong. So I'm hedging my bets here.
Okay.
Wait,
you
were
think-
we supposed to predict stuff later?
Well, no, we can do that. So you think anything we say here will not come to fruition?
I didn't say that. Don't genie me, all right? I think our predictions will be all wrong.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't think anyone, especially Faye, is going to let the things go that Ren has forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will be brought up a lot.
And that'll be interesting because, in a way, that was another Ren that did those things, but it was still Ren. So it's interesting to, which I don't know, how do you go forward with that?
Yeah. Or will Ren 2.0, create some, feelings of guilt or something like that because of his past?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The world will never know.
Faye found her true love, so that was pretty exciting.
How do you feel about that
I'm so
that part of
pumped.
season 2?
Literally, if Faye's story ended tomorrow, I would be fine.
You haven't saved the kids
Don't
yet.
give him that kind of power.
You haven't saved the kids yet. You'd be okay with that?
Walk.
I haven't seen
He's going
the kids
to
yet.
call us on a conference call. I have terrible news. Faye
Faye
Carver
has
was
died.
found dead.
Yeah,
In the time jump between season 2 and season 3, Faye has died.
Oh,
I would
gosh.
end you.
Why are there so many threats coming at me? I think what we can
threats on
take
David's
away.
life.
I think what we can take away from season 2 is my friends hate me now.
No, not at all.
That's the cost of being a GM.
Right.
You do all the hard work. You do everything for us, and then
And
we still
everybody
hate you in the
hates
end.
Then we all hate you. Yeah, that sounds about right.
No, I just
That's a life lesson.
absolutely love like romance stories. I don't know. I was trying to think of another name for it, but there's not. And so that just made my heart happy that like Faye was able to find Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And that it was so successful so far. So I'm just really pumped to continue that. But no, definitely needing to save the kids. I guess I had kind of put that in my mind as I had, but I haven't really. Mm-hmm. I got so distracted by the whole wanted thing. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But yeah, it's gonna. I don't know. Faye had a lot of really exciting things happen this season, and she's starting to put together a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the board keeps growing.
Yeah. So do we want to conjecture? Because I think this is still the. Do we have any questions and comments about the season? Do we have any conjectures about what's going on? Like, what is the mystery of the city? You have found out a lot of things, but you've also discovered a lot of mysteries. Like our good buddy Carl Collins was saying, he was commenting on our episode 52 Uncut in our Misconceptions After Hours, and he was commenting about how much he loved listening to the After Hours episodes, how fun they were, but also how much he appreciated our story and the aspect of whenever you get answers to your questions, you actually just get more questions, and he really liked that. And he was commenting like, whenever we focus on one character, but I'm like, well, what's happening with this character? What's happening with Esther's dad and Ren's target and Bill's family and all this stuff? And so, but I guess the point of that was, do we want to conjecture? Do you want to put forth ideas and brainstorm what is going on in the city?
Well, I don't know if this goes with that, but it's in my head and I don't want to forget it. So, do I still have the coin, or did it like disappear?
Whenever you rubbed it and then you open your hand, it was gone.
Damn.
You only get one favor.
There's two more hidden somewhere because Carmine Giuseppe is a genie. So
right,
you just have to find those.
Right, yeah.
Okay, but if Carmine Giuseppe is a genie, I fully expect a full song and dance from him. Also, David.
I'll put in some sound effects and music to make it seem like I am.
No, that's unacceptable.
Just use Will Smith's depiction of Genie. I thought that was pretty good. That's just my personal opinion.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. But anyways, conjectures or theories? Conspiracy theories? Because you found out a lot. And I actually think y'all kind of have forgotten of some clues that y'all found in season 1.
But the real question is, could we do favors for Carmine Giuseppe and get favors back?
But would we want to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's resting in some dark stuff.
Gonna do it.
No,
truly wants to do good. Ren.
I mean, I think Esther would do that.
Ren 2.0 wouldn't do it, but Ren 1.0 would go in headstrong.
I don't know that we could make. I feel like there's pieces, but it's like looking at a puzzle that you have like two corners for. Like, it's not. I don't think we're there yet to make a conjecture. I mean, we have like that table, this like secret underground of elite people who are orchestrating something in the city of Mist. But I just don't know. I mean, there's obviously other people because he keeps referencing other people, but I'm still trying to see their end game.
Yeah, totally. That's a good analogy of the puzzle pieces with two corners.
Yeah, I feel like we just like don't have an idea of like what is the end game. Like, now that we have, like now that we know Pip Hamill was a bad guy and was just trying to, like, yes, he was trying to get rid of the mob and like create his own thing. But you know, who are the other major players that are like what are their motives for the city?
Yeah. And speaking of major players, how about Linda Lockwood turning out to be the wizard?
Yeah,
that's right.
She's the worst.
I thought Ren 1.0 loved her, but Ren 2.0 has no idea.
Yeah,
about
hates
this.
her. Yeah.
Hates your guts.
Yeah.
That's why I always called her Luna Lovegood, because I knew she was a wizard.
Sure.
Okay.
Is that where you got the idea, David? Was that the inspiration?
No, not at all.
Oh, I knew it.
Was it always that? I mean, it was always that.
Yes. Whenever we finish Misconceptions, I will have to show you my very first draft of notes for the show. And because I had always planned on Linda being the wizard, but there were also some other key figures and players and plot points that like just got thrown out the window and never happened. So it'll be fun for me to show you what I originally predicted and planned for the show, and compare it to what it has become and what it will become in season 3. But Tessa, you look like you were about to say something.
Oh yeah. Words. Okay, there they are. I found them. They just got stuck. Okay. Backing up a little bit because I didn't get a chance. I mean, the Linda Lockwood thing is insanely cool. And incredibly frustrating. And I'm also just really mad that we ever trusted her. But I think with the conjecture stuff, there's so many things that just aren't tied yet. So like, we haven't gone back and addressed the portal and the whole, like, I mean, I guess we're kind of in it now, or we were in it. But like, that's the piece. And then, the whole like drug piece is like, that obviously led into the whole Pied Piper part, but like, why were those things connected and how are they connected to the portal? And then the whole pier thing, like, I don't know, maybe that monster used to be a human. Like, there's still like those little bits and pieces that haven't come together. But one of the things is that Carmine Giuseppe is part of all of it. Like, it was like Giuseppe Enterprises for the pier and stuff like that. But it seems much bigger than the Mafia. So I'm just wondering if someone is trying to pin stuff on the Mafia for whatever reason and like use them as a
Why would
distraction.
Why would Linda, as the wizard, serve the Mafia while she's still like as Linda? She was sending you to these targeted locations against the Mafia.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It just feels like they're being used.
Well, it's isn't it like, isn't this shadow organization kind of going up against the Mafia? Because that's what it seems like.
I mean, and part of that shadow organization was Pip Hamill.
Right, who's like standing up to like, I wonder if they're trying to take power away. I just don't know, because it's really easy to look at the Mafia as like the bad guys, but it seems like these other unknowns are even worse.
Right. What is the shadow organization?
It's the. Are you asking David? David, tell us.
The Cabal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why
y'all
do
have
we
been
call
to
them
their
the shadow
meeting.
organization?
Well, because that's what they are. And probably Jaime forgot that they were called the Cabal, because it's been a while since y'all referenced them.
It has been a while since we've referenced the Cabal.
So what is the definition of a shadow organization? Is like,
It's a Cabal.
are we saying like shadow organization is like this thing that's common in like a story? You have a shadow Okay, explain that.
Yeah, that's where I'm stuck. I haven't heard that term before.
A shadow organization is an organization that is in the shadows. They do things in secret. They're not like S.H.I.E.L.D. is a shadow organization. They're not well known to the rest of the world, but they do all these things to protect the world. The Cabal is a shadow organization because it's doing these things in secret to influence the city for whatever reason you don't know.
Because like S.H.I.E.L.D. like works within the FBI and like all these other like groups.
No, I understand the premise now. I'm
just frustrated with the not knowing what their edge is. Like what? That's killing me. Mm-hmm. They're some kind of cult, but they like it doesn't. When you hear Holy War, but they also could have been using a maniacal lunatic genius by bending him that way, because it doesn't seem like. I don't know.
So any other general questions or comments? Questions for each other? Thoughts, conjectures?
Do you have questions for us, David?
Is Deja the main villain?
Yeah.
I can't answer that.
You're a jerk.
It's just going to be all of Ren's love interests. One after
Seriously,
another.
though, all the people that Ren likes are going to be bad guys.
Because Ren's a bad guy.
I will say, looking to season 3 for Esther, I think she does believe that there is still going to be a way for her to find out what happened to her dad.
How?
I'm getting to
Okay.
that. Don't rush me. One, Javi obviously has answers that he hasn't given her yet. And I think that, to what Ren was saying, I don't know that it's completely out of the realm of possibility for Esther to maybe try to earn another favor, especially if we're going up against the Shadow Organization and we feel like maybe the Mafia is our way to do that because we've already ventured into that. So I could see that maybe being something.
You also have a plot thread connected to your dad, connected to the ring that you have not explored yet. Do you remember?
Which is the librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. What was you as a person, as a player, what was your favorite moment of season 2? I'm going to ask in a little bit what was a high and a low for your character, but I want to know you personally, what was your favorite part of season 2?
I love the EDM cave scene that we most recently just recorded.
Like in the finale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was, between that and then also, I did a kind of a similar thing when we were escaping the cave the first time from all the kids that wanted to kill us. I also did a similar thing. But in the finale of just like creating this like dance scene that like while I was playing a support role, I was using it to like distract our enemies and stuff. Mm-hmm. I really like that scene. I also really love the crane, as bad as it was.
As a negative impact as it had on the crew, it was a very intense part of the show. And I liked it for that, for being just an intense part.
Really intense, and it was really cool. And really bad for the crew and like all the children that were there. Not so much the Mafia, because who cares about them?
If I ever campaign against either one of you, I'm going to say that you enjoyed children being murdered. I'm going to use this show as proof.
Also, going off of the EDM scene in the final fight, we had recorded all day, and Jaime had to get back to Houston, and so we kind of had to rush that final fight. But I really wanted to get it done that session. Oh, you're okay. But yeah, so going off of that, once again, this is another fight that I had planned for and wanted to be epic and everything, and like it just you kind of bowled over the wizard, and that's my fault because I gave her moves that would have been really cool. She well, I'm not going to tell you all these things, but she had in play. Excuse you. She had in play these moves that could have created tags that would have helped her. And I just forgot to use it because I was so excited by the finale, and also like we have to get this done right now. But me personally, I was disappointed in the finale fight. Combat has always been something I've struggled with the City of Mist system. I struggle with making it really meaningful and impactful. And City of Mist is not a combat oriented system. It is very heavy role play. It is very heavy collaborative storytelling. It's very heavy investigation. But yeah, that's something I was a little disappointed with this season. I think it still worked out, and I think we had a good epic season finale. But I wish I had done it better.
I think you did good, David.
I agree.
Well, thank you.
It was a long
We
day.
all really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the final fight scene was good, but yeah, I would say that as hard as the wizard should have, I mean, the wizard was still difficult, but I understand that she should have been had more moves.
Yeah. And also, poor Jessie. She shows up and she wants to be such a badass, and Bill just took her out in one hit.
There goes, boom goes the dynamite.
What were you saying, Jaime?
I was saying I feel like in this kind of system, the only way you can really get more intense fight scenes is if the main boss has access to ads, other generating NPCs. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the only thing that can slow us down and can really give us a hard time. Because all it takes is a few dynamites, a few really good rolls. I mean, granted, we got wrecked really bad when we weren't rolling well in that water factory or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had to lick our wounds after that one. But it's like that coin flip, we could get, it seems like we can either get decimated or we decimate. But you have had the Jimmy the Butcher fight was good. I feel like every good fight has been, I don't know, there's just been multiple things going on, and also multiple situations happening.
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah. But I was actually gonna say my favorite scene, or scenes, if this isn't cheating, is progressively getting better at team fighting, because I feel like we've done that. I feel like season 1 we were just all kind of doing our own thing and hoping to accomplish goals, and I feel like season 2 we've really been paying attention to what's happening to the other characters, acting and reacting in ways that are hopefully beneficial. I just feel like we have gotten a little better at that.
Yeah. Which also I think reflects in the story, because y'all have gotten closer as a crew and kind of becoming a family of your own. Yeah.
I was going to say, kind of going off of Jaime, some of my favorite moments from this season, and the last fight being one of them, is whenever Bill and Faye team up against someone. And so the other one I was thinking too was the Nick one at that house and all of the crazy monsters. Because Bill and Faye don't often team up, and their powers are so very different, and they have very different styles. And so it's kind of fun when they can combine them. So I really enjoyed that. But then I also just really loved the Nick grandma house scene. Because one, Faye got to kind of utilize both aspects of her that I enjoyed. The compassionate, I'm trying to help someone and take care of them, and the and the combat, fight to the death kind of thing. And so being able to do those both at the same time was really cool, because it doesn't always happen.
Yeah, the fight at Marcus' grandmother's house was a good session. That was the session that we recorded all together at the same table down in Austin. And I think whenever we are together, the show is better. I think that's just true. I think we just play really well together.
Just kidding.
What'd you say?
What did you say?
He said shade thrown.
Oh. Well, it's true.
As I sit in my office and maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe somebody's now going to come murder me. I don't know what my fixation with murder is.
We'll bleep it out. He's just in Houston.
Yeah.
Not a specific part of Houston, just Houston. Just like we don't go to a specific part of Austin, we just go to Austin. I'll have to bleep that out too.
That way, if anyone kills me, that they can speak Spanish.
It'll narrow it down so much in Texas. Okay, so that was your favorite. Carrie, what was your favorite part of season 2?
I think, to be fair, I was pregnant for a lot of season 2. Was I pregnant for all of season 2?
No.
I don't remember. Anyways.
No, she wasn't.
So I don't remember everything. So, anyways. I think my favorite role playing for Esther was at our last recording session when she was one-on-one with Carmine. Just because I really feel like I got into my character, which I know is what David was trying to do. And I tried to be my character the rest of the time, and I do apologize, but being pregnant is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
You were having amazing things happen inside your body, and we cannot fault you for that. And the fact that we did an 8-hour recording session while you were pregnant is amazing, and you are a trooper for doing it.
So, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay, so now for your characters, what was a high point and a low point for your character this season? Do we want to go back around the opposite way? Mm-hmm. So, Carrie, what was a high point and a low point for Esther?
Well, I think a low point on a personal level for Esther would be that she, the opportunity she had been wanting all along, she passed up with Carmine because she didn't get the answers about her dad that she wanted. Mm-hmm. But in a way, that's also a high point, and I'm not just doing that to cheat because I don't remember a lot of the other things, but I do think it's a high point because she actually stayed true to this family that she does have, which I think is big for her because starting out, she was not a team player. Yeah.
You were very lone wolf.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting how lone wolf everybody was at the beginning of the show. And how, like Jaime has said, y'all really come together and like you keep up with each other in combat. You help each other in combat, all these things. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think a low point for Faye was just the few episodes. I don't know. It was like 3 or 4 episodes where Faye was like finally getting to the things that she'd been working towards, like the Pied Piper stuff, the kids stuff, and then the Woodard stuff. And nobody cared. And so she was just really struggling because she'd been working so hard on like figuring out these mysteries. And had like was so excited to tell the whole crew about it. And then everybody, understandably had a lot of their own things going on, but I think that was just a low point for the character. And then I think a high point is I don't know, there were a lot of high points for Faye.
It was a good season for Faye.
Yeah. I mean, definitely meeting Woodard is a high point, but also like being able to convince some of the kids to leave the sewer system, the utopia kind of place, was a huge high point for her. And it took the whole squad, which I think kind of helped redeem what had happened, was that everybody was in on that with her, and they were all able to convince 2 of them to go with and then save them. So that was really cool. And then being able to work with Woodard and Muhammad on kids stuff as well and kind of start merging those worlds was cool. Mm-hmm.
And Faye made a declaration in one of the character monologues that she was going to kill somebody. Do you think Faye still holds to that? Does seeing Jacoby like literally dissolve in front of your face like shake her resolve? Does seeing like Pip Hamill, the desire of your hate, be shot in the gut, does it mess with your resolve?
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of really messed up stuff. It's probably going to depend on how mad I am at the world as Tessa when we start playing with the next season about whether Faye's ready to go kill some people or not. Mm-hmm. But I think if I tried to separate it, I think Faye still kind of got... I mean, at her core, she is Maid Marian, and in the Robin Hood story, and Robin Hood did what he had to do. Mm. And so, there's that drive in her.
Okay. Jaime?
I don't know. I think the high point was the early like lifestyle change of going from maybe someone who drank too much, maybe borderline alcoholism, and just being a dysfunctional human to, not having to work for Jeremiah anymore, and being able to dedicate all that time to searching for my family, and then finally getting to meet Alec Baldwin. I mean, obviously not Alec Baldwin, but the Bacab. Like, there was a lot of excitement and anticipation, and really like got this new power, and like so a lot of stuff was there was a real good upward trajectory, and I mean it was steep, and then I feel like just even a few episodes later it kind of was plateauing, and just because of, like I said, I mean it's kind of a similar answer to earlier, but I mean the high point would be that and the excitement and like everything's going on, and the low point would be ending the season kind of, I don't want to say unfulfilled, but in that area of my character's life, definitely probably having a little bit of an empty feeling.
Yeah, like you had said, you started off like really gung-ho about finding your family and stuff, and then you kind of got caught up in all the crazy stuff. So like, yeah, you by necessity, you kind of had to push your personal goals to the side.
And I feel like season 3 there will be a lot of turmoil internally as to, allowing myself to do that, and a lot of thought is going to happen, I think. Yeah.
And and going off of like Bill had to choose between the crew and his own personal things. City of Mist, the system is all about choosing, and there's a mechanic that reflects whenever you have to choose one thing over the other. It's taking fade and crack in certain themes. Esther just took a lot of fade and crack in different themes for the choices she made in the limo with Carmine Giuseppe. I reminded her a little bit, but I also didn't have to prompt her to take crack and fade in certain themes. Like, she kind of decided which ones. So going into season 3, I mean, even in this season, you had to make hard choices and take fade and crack. And going into season 3, I think there will be opportunities for you to manage your own fade and crack as well. Because I can pose the situations, but it is up to you and your interpretation of the character about whether they take fade and crack. And I think it is more exciting when you do, because it's exciting to like have that 2 crack in a theme and like, oh no, I'm about to lose it. Like, Faye rode that line all season.
Yeah, I was freaking out.
Yeah.
Well, I only had one mythos at the time, and so I knew that if I faded completely in that, I would lose
Maid Marian.
Yeah, I would lose Maid Marian, and I had worked really hard, and I had Woodard, so I couldn't lose Maid Marian.
Yeah. Also, you gained the extra mythos theme.
I did.
Past recording session. Do you want to comment on what that is or anything?
Sure. I think you saw a glimpse of it in the season finale, right? And I said I'd explain it later, but. So Faye now has the Maypole of the Maiden is the name of her mythos. It's a relic. Her mystery is, who am I becoming? Because she is becoming more and more of Maid Marian, and there's just, is she gonna be more combat heavy? Is she going to want to hurt people, or is she going to stick to her, good natured? Will she become Ren 1.0? Unsure. So it's basically just an extendable staff. So she can carry it with her, and then it will extend and she can fight with it. So there's a lot of ideas I have about that moving forward. But that's kind of the beginning of it. So
Cool. And then over to Zach, what was Ren's highs and lows for this season?
I would say one of Ren's highs was focusing on Pascal and Associates for at least like at the beginning of the season. Obviously not towards the end. But I did get a couple attention in Pascal and Associates. Like both in character and then also as Zach. Like I enjoy the work that I do, or like the pretend work, I guess, that I do at Pascal and Associates, and the my connection with Pablo and Deja, and like trying to create a more like fledgling business So that was a high for the season. And I would say the low, like I keep talking about the change, but I would definitely say the low was like losing my gun. That immediate, like both as Zach and as Ren was like devastating to lose the one thing that I've been focusing on for like all of this, or for the entirety of the 2 seasons, as a way to like take care of myself and the team, and take care of myself during like difficult situations. And now if I'm stuck in a difficult situation, I like, yes, I can do like more support things of like truly wanting to do good and focus more on like my hacking and stuff, but there's still not that like I can go out and just like attack someone.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about this lately. Like, I wish when we had created Ren, we hadn't made him a software engineer, because your Logos and your Mythos are really kind of similar. Like, they both have to do with techie things. Like, I wish we had done, like, Ren is a cab driver, because I think that would have been very different. And also, like, it came out that, like, Ren's life didn't have an effect or impact on the city, and that's why the program chose him to be, like, the agent of the future.
Yeah.
And so City Mist is best whenever your Mythos and Logos are very different from each other. And I wish we had known that, kind of, because we made all these characters without the full rules. We just used the starter set rules. So I wish we had known that and kind of did Ren's Logos a little differently. Because I like his Mythos.
Yeah.
I think his Mythos is really cool, but I wish we had just changed his Logos to be different from just software techie guy.
Yeah, kind of more activity based. Or
Yeah.
like being able to do something more. Because I feel like his Logos is very passive.
Okay, so where do you want to see your character go in season 3? Like, what goals do you have? Because, as I said, I'm planning on season 3 being the end of the story of these characters. So what goals do you have? What loose threads do you want to tie up? And I guess we could also talk about, like, what do you want season 3 to focus on? And I'll use all these to help plan out season 3.
Well, I'll start. I definitely want answers about my dad before this show is over. But I also, outside of the game and everything, David and I have talked about another Mythos option for Esther. And so, which I think would be really cool, but I don't want to force it. I want it to happen organically. So I'm really curious if that's going to get to play out or not. I think we're kind of moving in that direction, but I really don't want it to be forced, because if it's forced, it'll be really cheesy. But if it'll work out organically with the story, I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So Carrie's wanting to get rid of Esther's Athena theme. Okay. Anyone else? Where do you want to see your character go? What do you want to see happen in season 3?
I mean, before we were Wanted, I wanted to see my character like create Pascal and Associates to be like a business, just because it's taken a backseat in season 2. But since now we're Wanted, I don't know if that's possible, at least for a little bit. But I would like to build the Ren 2.0 theme and build that up a bit more and cause attention to it, so that I can do more good in the city.
Like it.
Yeah. Did you have something, Jaime?
Yeah, I would love for us to be like X-Men. Like, we're wanted, we're trying to do the right thing and save people. I want us to have like some kind of underground, like, a meetup of people trying to take down the Cabal. Obviously, it's us 4 right now, and I mean, I'm sure I'm sure there's a few. Maybe Javi can join us because he's also a fugitive now. But I don't know. I think that could make for a really interesting dynamic and an interesting change of how we play the game. We can't just walk down the street anymore. Like, we can't use the cover of anonymity and of like nobody knowing who we are because we're getting pasted and blasted on every source of media. So I'd like to see how we figure that out. I'd like to see how that affects my search for like my wife and son, because I'm still going to have to find that cab, and it's going to be really hard to disguise a tattooed guy with an accent. Maybe I can like pull my tattoos off and make him a suit or something. I don't know, but there's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to seeing how we do, and I would like to resolve my family issues. And I don't know. I don't
totally.
know that there's much else.
Yeah, I like that idea of y'all working, as a secret organization against a secret organization, especially now that y'all are wanted. And yeah, that wanted is going to play a big role in season 3, especially until y'all can figure out a way to address it. But yeah, I like those ideas.
With the assumption that Pip Hamill's still alive, which I think he is. I'm just really looking forward to confronting him. And just dealing with the whole Pied Piper scenario to begin with. And, if Linda Lockwood had anything to do with those children, then, we're going to have issues. The dog pound. She was at the dog pound. Okay.
Did you just make some connections?
I did indeed. Because the drugs, the dog pound, the human testing, they were acting like animals, like in Zootopia. She was there. It's all coming together. But anyways, I'm just looking forward to exploring the whole children thing more and figuring that out.
Yeah, season 3 is going to be fun. At the start of season 3, I'm planning for there to be I think a 2 to 3 month time jump, in which I want y'all to think about, like, what have you been doing for these past 2 or 3 months? So summer is over, fall has started, and with that comes, different seasonal changes, phase jobs starting back up, but you are all wanted, a wanted 5 status. If you took a wanted 6, that would basically mean you're like in jail or, somewhere. So kind of thinking about where have you been for the past 2 or 3 months? What have you done? Nothing like revolutionary, because anything really climactic and game changing I want to happen on mic. But kind of what have you been doing? Where have you been hiding? How have you been dealing with all your problems? And then picking it back up from there. Yeah. And so that would be where season 3 starts. But now, if nobody else has any comments or anything, we could go ahead and answer our Geek Out during the credits questions. And instead of doing it just for this past session that we recorded, doing the whole season. So which character has had the most meaningful impact on you this whole season? How has the crew grown this whole season? What theme is under the most strain for this whole season? So we can go around the table and answer those, and then see what shakes out.
I think that Faye and Esther's relationship has grown the most this season. Like, not the most out of everybody. That's not what I meant. Out of Faye's relationship with other people. Mm-hmm. Just because they did kind of go through a bad patch and were able to, like, push through it and maintain their friendship and, like, get back on track. So I just feel like their friendship is now stronger than it was. So I definitely want to give a help point to Esther.
Okay.
And we can answer more than one, right?
We sure can.
And then I just feel like the crew in general has, I feel like we all have said this a lot in this session, but I just feel like the crew has grown a lot, and we've been helping each other a lot in our fights. So I feel like...
And so the way how has the crew grown this session, it is how have you answered that identity? Like, how have you played into your identity? And I don't have my MC screen out here with me. But y'all did...
We're the gang.
Yeah, y'all are the gang. And I think the gang's identity was we'll always have each other's backs.
I think you're right.
Before it was Conspiracy Busters, so it would have been y'all answering the question of how have y'all pursued the mission instead of your own personal goals, which I think we were awful with. I prefer the group or the gang. So, Tessa, you think that y'all have grown closer together? Like we'll always have each other's backs?
I think we've definitely done the we have each other's backs thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone else? So a help point on Esther and a attention in the gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zach, if you had an answer, you can go ahead because I'm gonna think about this for a sec.
Okay. I was gonna say that me and Bill have grown closer together, or like that are like me and Bill have had a lot of during this season have like had missions together. Like I think about when Linda Lockwood gave us that information, and we went to the mafia places, or was that season 1?
That was season 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about season 1. So not that.
Do you think any of your mythos took? But of course, the incapacitator gun is gone.
Yeah.
But like, do you think any of your mythos were under a lot of strain this season? Do you think Ren and Pascal Associates was under a lot of strain this season?
I mean, the digital data implants were under a lot of strain. Like I burned 2 of the tags, but that was like in using them rather than in cracking them or fading them.
Yeah.
I will say the hacktivist probably went I mean, like I say strain, but like is just like not being used. So like I feel like I haven't really hacked all that much during this season.
Yeah.
So I feel like I deserve like a crack in hacktivist just because I haven't been using it at all.
Okay. So you want to give yourself a crack in hacktivist?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then, if that fades away, your mythos can begin to re-manifest in you in a different way. Not a new incapacitator gun, unfortunately, because it would be kind of lame for you to lose a power and then gain it back a different way. But a new way the future could manifest in you. So if you lose that theme, what new theme will show up in its place? And it has to be related to your mythos. So if you lose your hacktivist, you already have your data implants, your gun is gone. Think of all the futuristic movies like Terminator, Batman Beyond. I don't know why those are the only 2 future movies coming to my mind. But like, how could those kind of stories, because your rift is of the future, this amalgamation of the future, how could that give you another power? And you don't have to be specific. You could kind of leave it broad and we narrow it down later. But what do you think?
I mean, I feel like maybe a way of transportation. Maybe some kind of like futuristic transportation. Like I know that Bill had the Styx cab service that was always available to him. But it's maybe something like similar to that of like a flying car whenever we need it, or
Portal gun.
Or maybe being able to create portals, and like with like the Terminator, he like appeared in different places.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm thinking something to deal with like some sort of like transportation method.
Yeah, I like that. So on the flip side of that card, I guess write futuristic transportation. I like the flying car idea. I think that could be cool.
That's pretty dope.
I don't want to give him just another gun. Even if it
Portal
is
gun.
just a portal gun.
Car-sized portal gun.
Oh my gosh. So I guess Jaime and Carrie.
I'll go so that Carrie can swaddle the child. I think. What is my? I have something. I think it's called Family Ties. My far right card.
I don't. Oh, the family ties power tag. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, what theme is that?
What's it under?
It's under the Taken.
Oh yeah. Okay. How many? Do I have any crack in that?
No, you don't. Your identity for them is I'll get them back by any means necessary. So you don't have any crack in that that
right.
theme.
Crack it. Give it. It needs to take one
Why do you think that?
because I have not, as of late. In the beginning, I was concentrated on it. As of late, I have not been concentrated. So it deserves a crack.
Okay.
And then the other thing that I will say, so it's under some strain. I think I'm planning on, or I'm thinking about it being kind of refreshed at the beginning of next season. But other than that, I think that Bill is the oldest, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think that we're getting to the point where while Rin can annoy me, and while Faye and Esther's antics can be a bit much sometimes, that Bill has become like a big brother, and kind of how he's interacting with the crew and trying to look out for them. And so I think that's going to make, or maybe even has made, the family search that much harder, because like you said, I feel like they are my family, albeit in a different way. We're still a family in that way.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that's help points for everyone. If that's just kind of how it's felt. Is really, I've been trying to keep the peace, help people when I can, and just be a protector.
yeah, I would say you could give one person a help point. I don't know if you could give everybody a help point at the same time.
I will never accept that. Right now, I'll say I'll give it to Esther.
Okay.
Because there's definitely that big brother mentality or feeling knows that she is probably having the hardest time right now.
Yeah.
And so there's probably...
Yeah. And also, so on the flip side, if you lose your family forever, if there's no way to get them back, a cot is going to further manifest in you and give you more powers. What powers do you think a cot would give you? So you already have your tattoos. You already have your cloud surfer. He was the god of fertility, tattoos, the wind, and storage jars.
What?
Yeah, I guess he was a god of storing stuff in giant ceramic jars.
What about life? I thought he was the god of life.
Yeah, life, fertility. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. That's a tough one because there's a lot of stuff that could happen there.
Yeah. Well, so we could be as broad as we want right now. Like we could say a storage jar or fertility or life or something like that. And the next time we answer this question, narrow it down some more.
I think that it would be interesting and therapeutic and could come from a cot would be something to do with life that would involve helping orphans, infants. I don't know. I think that could be a cool interpretation of it.
So,
Okay.
first of all, to what Jaime was saying about Esther and the brother thing, I think that's been our characters like every time we play together. I just think
That's
that's
fair.
funny. I think as far as the theme that's taken the most strain, definitely not necessarily the father thing the whole time, but definitely the bar.
Okay.
I focused on that for like 5 minutes at the beginning of the season, maybe. And the last I heard, I think my bar is failing, or it's being
It had a failing
foreclosed
3
on
status,
or something. So
And now you're wanted, so it's kind of hard for you to work on that.
right. So unless I turn it into a speakeasy.
Oh, Riverdale season 3. Hint, it sucked.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's taking the biggest strain, and I don't know exactly what that would look like if that goes away.
Okay.
It would have to turn into a mythos. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so Artemis would manifest more of herself through you. She is the god of wisdom and the goddess of war.
So maybe I'm like an underground fortune teller or something.
Ooh.
Okay.
My wisdom.
So seeing the
Mystical
future.
librarian.
What?
Okay.
So, anyways, I think maybe I'd go with the wisdom side of things.
Okay.
Just because I'm getting more and more life experience.
Okay. So whenever you don't have a baby in your hands, you'll mark a fade in your bar, and on the flip side, write.
I already marked
wisdom.
a crack on my bar. Am I taking a second crack?
Oh no, you don't have to. That's fine. So unless you want to.
But I'll write on the back wisdom.
Yeah. So wisdom.
I may take 2 cracks.
Okay, that's
I think
fine.
that would be fair.
Yeah, that's fine. I actually don't think that's how that works. But I think we're answering it for the whole season.
Yeah.
So, like, why not? Why not make it more hefty? So, that is season 2. Really looking forward to season 3 and wrapping up this story and these characters and kind of figuring out what's been going on in the city, because there's a lot that still needs to be uncovered. There's a lot that already has been uncovered. But getting down to the bottom of the cabal, what's going on in the city, what's going on with these characters' lives. And we just thank you all for supporting us so far and listening to these first 2 seasons with us. And we hope that you are as excited as we are to start season 3.
Can I say what I like? Something I want to play for Misconceptions 2?
Oh, okay. So,
Is this too early?
no, I was.
So Jaime wants to stay on for Misconceptions too.
Yeah, that's encouraging.
Correct.
Yeah, so Tessa's freaking out because she doesn't want to not play Faye. She definitely doesn't want this season, this series to end.
You're moving on too quick for me, Ivy.
Oh, sorry.
Tessa's not a true RPGer, because true RPGers make a character, play them for 1 session, and already are starting to think about the next story and the next character.
This
I was
week,
just thinking about go ahead.
this last week, David started a D&D campaign and made me make a D&D character, and I was so frustrated and avoided it for forever because I was like, I have a character. Her name is Faye.
She doesn't want to play anybody else but Faye.
Oh no.
Yes.
I did stick to rogues for a long time.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about cool professions that could introduce me to a lot of different people in the city, and then also make for some really stressful decisions. I think I want to be like a real estate investor, or not a real estate investor. Sorry, what are they called? A realtor?
A realtor?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
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 I think that could be like, oh, I'm selling houses to mob bosses, and I'm having to take a call at 3 p.m. that a house that I'm showing has a plumbing issue. So I'm gonna I don't know. There could be all kinds of crazy
Yeah.
stuff going on.
A long time ago, I came up with a character idea who is a rift of Baba Yaga. And part of Baba Yaga's mythos is that she has the chicken leg hut that walks around through the Russian wilderness. And so I thought, how could we kind of work that in, her hut and stuff? And so I decided she has this key, and she can stick it in any door and it fits. But whenever she opens the door, it goes into her hut. And so she could always get back into her hut. So maybe your realtor is a rift of Baba Yaga. But then again, we kind of fall into the thing of it's too similar to the mythos. Ren is a hacker, but he's also the future thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but it's an idea. And listeners, you can take that mythos idea and run with it in your own games, I guess.
A realtor whose mythoi is Thor. What happens?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Goes to nail in a picture frame, destroys the house.
Yeah. You have to stop holding back to nail in
Every house
little thing.
that he starts listing gets struck by lightning and burns down.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, but anyways, Carrie's left the table to take care of James, but the rest of us want to say thank you and see you for season 3, and keep it nerdy, y'all.